Hey Kevin, this is a demo video for you for your double saber staff. They're actually standalone sabers as well. They come with individual pommel caps as standalone sabers, and then you have the coupler to combine them, which will go over all that. So we did install these with CFX and neopixel. You can see your pins in there, each one of them. They're both identical in builds, but we're going to go through each one by one. I only have one test blade at the moment, so we'll fire one up and then to show you that it works, and then take it out and we'll fire the other one up to show you that the other one works as well. But here are your buttons. You got two of these, activation and an auxiliary on the exact opposite side, and then you have this piece right here which actually acts as your retention for your chassis. So what you'll want to do here is we'll just go ahead and take this all the way off. This unscrews with your hand, pops out like that, and then we'll unscrew this pommel piece. Which one you do first really doesn't matter. And then chassis will slide right out there, then you can pull it out. Again, wired this to where it only comes out far enough to where you can put your battery in. So when you start feeling some resistance on the wires, go ahead and stop. I mean, this is about what you're looking at right here. So it says removable battery. Your negative goes towards the inside, positive on the outside. You do still have a positive and negative sign on each of these in the chassis for battery orientation. There's your board right there. It's not glued in. It's just a press fit so that you can get to your SD card anytime. You don't have to lift this up to get to your SD card. There's enough room here to pop it in and out. But if for whatever reason you need to get to your micro USB or whatever, this board does pop out. And then on each of these you have a 28mm bass speaker. So I'll be sending you two batteries with these. And just send it like this. And we'll pop a battery in the first one. We'll just hold it with our hand like that. Make sure that spring's facing out like that. Put your negative in first.
My powers have doubled since the last time we met.
Now the reason why we took the chassis retention out all the way is so that you could see the chassis slide in. So much like the last one I just did for you on that unicorn one from the POC store, you want to make sure that the side of your chassis is lined up with this hole. You don't want to put this on the battery or the board, right? So you want to line that up with the hole. And as you're pushing it in, if you start feeling some resistance, you can just twist it a little bit. And so once it goes all the way in there, another thing I like to do is you don't want to push directly on the speaker, but you can come up here where this white ring is with your finger and push it all the way in. Now you're going to see when you get in there, there's some threads. All right. When you have the individual pommel cap on, it's not going to take up all the thread space in there, but it will take all that up when you put your coupler on. So what you want to do is just get in there, push that chassis all the way past the threads. I made this chassis just big enough to where you will get past those threads and it'll stop. And then I don't know if you could see it on the camera, but in person you can actually see the side of the chassis right there. So we're gonna take this piece and just screw it back on. It doesn't have to be tight. Just needs to bite down a little bit. There we go. So bite down a little bit. We can put this individual pommel back on for now. Smooth swing. Auxiliary. Activation. And then you have a blade retention screw right here, a little set screw. So we'll take that out. Actually, you don't have to take it out. Just back it up out of the blade chamber. Slap a test blade in there. You can feel it bounce up and down on the pins, so just make sure you press them down, you get good contact. Tighten that up just a hair. Flash on flash. Auxiliary. Hold down for blade lockup. And exactly like your other one. So hold down your auxiliary and twist your wrist.
Spectrum.
And that will let you change color. It's a little hard to see when we're on that blade effect. So we'll hold down the auxiliary, twist our wrist,
Spectrum.
keep holding it down.
Blade profiles.
Now you're on blade profiles. We'll try to go for a solid one. There's a lot to choose from. That's close. Now, when we turn it on,
Spectrum.
now we can change color and you can see it pretty good. Good sound out of that one. So we're going to leave the battery in this one. Set it off to the side for a second. And we'll do the other one just like it. So like I said, identical in installation and chassis and everything. So we'll just take the pommel cap off. Take this little piece off right here that holds the chassis on. Slides out just like that. If you feel a little bit of resistance, just twist back and forth a little bit. You should only get it to come out about that far where the edge of that spring is just past your pommel cap right there. And then of course you have your board is set up the exact same way. 28mm bass speaker, everything's the same here. So let's throw a battery in this guy too. And then we'll line it up just like we did before. And then we're going to go ahead and back the speaker up. Remember, don't press on the middle part, press on the white ring. I almost took the white ring off, but then I thought, well, no, it was probably just a good indicator while I was doing this video, and maybe for you, but when you see it, that's where you should put your finger when you're pressing it down into the hilt. So I got it down past the threads. Sometimes you got to hold it with your finger right there. I can see the chassis right there in the hole, the side of the chassis, not the board or the battery. And we'll lock it down. Throw this on here for now just so you can see it all assembled as a single unit and how it works. Put a blade in here too. Same retention screw right there for your blade. Tighten it down. I wish I had two blades. I could show you how they both light up on a staff version.
Blade profiles.
Try to find a solid color again. It's somewhere in there. That's pretty close. And then we'll
Spectrum.
change color. As you can see, twisting it exactly the same. Your color's changing great. Flash on flash. Auxiliary. But hold it down for blade lockup. Now we're going to take the pommel caps off these guys and we're going to join them with the staff coupler, which is right here. And this is the reason why that longer thread right there is the reason why you can see the difference, right? Why we back that speaker up all the way past the threads when you're putting it back in. There's a lot of threads on this coupler. That one's all locked into place. Now we'll do it on this other guy. Patience is a virtue in this game. This has taught me a lot about patience, actually. So, first one. Second one. Just hitting the auxiliary at the same time with both of them. And both of them with blade lock up. And then we'll turn them both off. And that, sir, that I can't even get in the camera, is your double-bladed staff. Hope you like it. Thanks.